Hello and welcome to Sky247.net presents Not Just Cricket. Thank you for joining all of us. Welcome Vaseem and welcome Adeep. I have to say we have a very happy Bengali in the house. Kolkata fans can finally relish their Mishti, Doshi, Doi and Rosagullas because finally Kolkata have snapped their 5-match losing streak, and I'm just going to leave it to you. You must be very happy. Finally, something, it's great.
True, it's something to cheer about for sure. Yes, and
Yes.
it's time for Arm now. So Himshagoram, that's what we have. Our favorite actually in Calgary, at least mine, Himshagar. Right. So having said that, yeah, obviously, I mean, what I'm really happy about is Rinku Singh, somebody who's been a very good servant as far as not just for Kolkata but also for UP. One of those guys who plays regularly in first class cricket, has been part of the Kolkata setup for quite a while now. And I'm so happy to see him bat the way he did on a tricky pitch against a really good bowling attack. It's just good to see someone like Rinku Singh get those runs, and in the past he's been criticized quite a bit for not performing and stuff like that and all that. He's been at the receiving end of quite a bit of criticism, but I'm glad that somebody as hardworking as him, uh, has done so well.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. He has a great story. So good for him and an electric fielder as well. Vaseem, happy with this score, and we were discussing it earlier. All said and done, it would just seem very like these are the top four. Ye hoga so hoga. So it's nice to have a bit of a some cricket.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल करिश्मा finally KKR, Corbo and Lordbo and Jeetbo. So they did ticked all three boxes. So it was nice to see. I mean, the bowlers actually set it up. Umesh again picking up a really quick wicket of Devdutt Padikkal, who's not in a great form. But Anukul Roy and Sunil Narayan as usual. Those three guys going below 7 and restricting RR batting to below par score and then chasing it down pretty easily. I mean, it did came down to the end, but I think with 7 wickets down, I mean, Umesh Yadav just continuing his good form. I mean, the wickets column is not a lot, but you can see 17 dot ball, which is as good as three maiden overs. Which says a lot. Somebody with Pat Cummins not there, he's taken that responsibility of bowling in the power play, and you know every time he picks a wicket in the power play, and that gives a boost. We do say that their death bowling is not good, but Umesh Yadav is making up for it, by picking wickets in the power play, and really happy to see the Indian fast bowler doing it well. And they needed this win. They needed this win badly. And like Deep said, Rinku Singh, somebody who's been in the benches for KKR for such a long time. He's got an opportunity literally after a year and a half or something like that, and he's grabbing those opportunities. Two absolutely beautiful cameos in this game, even in the last game against Gujarat. So really happy for him. He's a hard-working cricketer, very good fielder. He's adding value, to this side, which says a lot. Nitish Rana has played his hand, and the way he's tackled Ravi Ashwin. Somebody who's a left-hander and playing Ashwin so well. If you see here, such an important knock this is, 37 ball, 48, and he's not got out to Ravi Ashwin at all, which says a
Yeah.
lot. There's not many left-handers who can claim that, and he's played him beautifully. He's literally took that threat away of Ravi Ashwin today. So which is absolutely wonderful. And like I said, KKR needed these 2 points to just stay alive in the tournament, which is good.
Absolutely deep. Nitish Rana showcased skills certainly, but more importantly, responsibility to help Kolkata through tonight.
Mhm. True, because you could see that partnership between Rinku and Nitish, that not only Nitish was playing his innings, but he was also kind of guiding Rinku through that innings as well. Every ball, every second ball, he would go up to Rinku Singh and kind of have that chat with him, kind of guide him through this run chase. It's good to see. It's good to see these senior guys. I mean, Nitish is not a junior. I mean, he's been around for a while. Good to see him taking that responsibility when Kolkata obviously needed this. This was a must-win game. In fact, all games from here on is a must-win, but especially this one to kind of break, break that losing streak of 5 games. So good to see Nitish Rana as well, playing that knock of a senior player, and then obviously Rinku Singh. Yeah, Shreyas Iyer also was looking good. Unfortunate, I mean, strangled down leg side. But yeah, I mean, it was a good run chase on a tricky pitch against a good bowling side. So credit to, while completely agree what Wasim mentioned about the bowling unit
Yeah.
doing really well to kind of stop them at that score, but also could have been a very tricky chase this one.
No, fair enough. Shreyas again came in early and chipped in with the valuable contribution, Wasim.
Yeah, he did. He did. And they needed that partnership along with Nitish Rana because you don't want to lose too many wickets up front. It's a tricky chase. And he's got that start literally in every innings, Karishma. He's got 30s and, 20s in literally every innings. It was, KKR definitely needed this inning. Like Deep said, got tangled. Otherwise, he would have been happy to, see the team home because he hasn't had any game where he took the team home. But he'll be happy as a captain because they've got over the line. They've been making a lot of changes, but at least when you win, everything is blown away. So he'll be happy that they've got a win on their side.
Absolutely. Rajasthan a little unlucky with the toss, would you say, Deep?
Yeah, fair enough. But listen, if you look at Rajasthan's record, they've done well batting first. So it's not that this wasn't the first time they're batting first. They've won a lot of games. In fact, they won all their games batting first.
Mm.
So it's not something that they're not used to. Yes, at the end, you could figure out that the dew did play a role in that whole thing, in that run chase. But again, something that Rajasthan's used to. So I don't think they would have been too upset batting first either. Uh, but yeah, I mean, but end of the day, then that batting innings never got going. It
Yeah.
never got going. Uh, the only time I thought that Rajasthan might get going was when Sanju was getting in. But then I think that wicket, Sanju's wicket, was a big moment in that game.
Yeah, that
I
actually brings
was
me to my
Yeah,
next
I
question.
was I was also surprised, Karishma, them not sending Simran Hetmeyer ahead of Riyan Parag as well. That was, looked, very surprising move because Simran Hetmeyer, we all know, being a left-hander, being a finisher, you need him to be there for 5, 6 overs. I think Riyan Parag came in when he was 14th or maybe 15th over. So when you want to send your, informed finisher, that was a little surprising. They could have probably sent Riyan Parag, if at all, in place of Karun Nair, if you wanted to send him, or, Shimran Hetmeyer at the place of Riyan Parag. But, stopping him right till the end, and, he's probably faced only about 10, 11, 12 balls. I don't think that is enough because the inning didn't get any momentum. Inning didn't got any momentum. If you were 170 or 180 in that 18th or 19th over, it's understandable. But the inning never got any momentum, so you needed somebody to come out and hit few sixes and get them to a score close to 170, 180. So it was a little bit surprising from my end to not see Shimran coming back early.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, Hitmeyer normally bats number three for the West Indies, Deep, so a little
Yeah.
surprising.
Not just that, if you look at his record, or rather his innings in the last year, he's been batting really well. Obviously, was kind of dropped from the West Indies side for whatever reasons, fitness and all that.
Mm.
But he's been somebody who's, you could say, has matured quite a bit in the last year and a half. Was listening to him recently as where he mentioned that he wants to give himself more time. So if somebody is ready to give himself more time and is in good nick, the idea is, like Wasim said, to send him, give him some extra overs to bat, right?
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, I completely agree with Wasim. I mean, somebody who's in good nick, left hand. I mean, everything was going for Shimron Hetmeyer to come at that position. Left-hander, has the ability to hit sixes, is in good form. I mean, he ticks all the boxes, but for whatever reasons, he wasn't.
Okay, so before we go to the social tracker, what was the turning point for both of you in the game? Was it the whole Butler wicket? Is that what it was? What was the turning point for both of you?
Well, I think for me, the inning the Rajasthan Royals inning didn't got any momentum, first of all. And for 3 or 4 innings, Josh Butler hasn't got going. The kind of start that he had at the start of the tournament, that has not happening for the last 3 or 4 innings. He's got out early, or even if he has batted for a time, he's batted literally, at 110, 120 strike rate, which is very unlike Josh Butler. So if he plays like that, then other guys need to step up. Sanju Samson, played his part today. He took his time. He didn't. The thing that we spoke at the preview, that Sanju Samson has to be a little bit selective, and I thought he played like that today. He took that responsibility. He didn't play too many airy fairy shots.
Mm.
That's why you see only one sixes being hit by Sanju Samson. So I think he played very sensibly according to that pitch. But the other guys, I mean that move where you don't send Shimran Hetmyer, somebody who can hit sixes. He can give you that impetus in that inning. That was probably a turning point to me. 158, was never going to be threatening if you don't pick up early wickets. So I think that was 5-6 overs of Shimran Hetmyer could have been 20 runs more, and the game would have changed. I think.
Fair enough. Deep, was that the same thing for you, the turning point for you?
Apart from that, I think the wicket of Sanju Samson, I thought that was the time when he was going to step up and change gears and start getting some kind of a momentum into that innings. Just fell at the wrong time. I mean, that wicket obviously again slowed down the whole process because this was a tricky pitch. The ball wasn't coming onto the bat, especially batting first. It wasn't that easy to hit those big shots. I mean, you could see that when you look at those numbers as in scorecard. You'll see nobody really got going. It was only Hetmeyer at the end who hit some, sixes and all. But I thought, yeah, I mean that wicket of Sanju Samson, maybe. See, with someone like Josh Butler is, yes, I mean it's high risk, high reward kind of a game.
Yeah.
So there'll be, I mean, and especially in this format, there'll be days when he will not get those runs. It's very
Mm.
difficult in this format to be as consistent as, say, some of the other formats. But yeah, I thought Sanju, as Wasim mentioned, was playing a really good knock. But yeah, that wicket kind of, got 15 runs less, I guess, at the end.
Okay, fair enough. Let's take a look at the social tracker. Well, we have to take a look at our first tweet, which is a happy birthday to one of our greats, which is Brian Lara. And there's a lot of love for him. He turns 53 today. And there's another one for him. Birthday celebrations, birthday to the Prince in the Hyderabad camp.
Yeah.
Oh,
The only batsman, Karishma, who's touched the Mount Rushmore.
Indeed. A lot of love for him today. And there's
Oh,
one
yeah.
from KL wishing the greatest and one of my favorite batsmen of all time, Brian Lara, the happiest of birthdays. So a lot of love.
He's the only
Both
one
of
who's
you
got.
played
He's
against
he's the
him.
only
So
one, Karishma.
yeah.
Hmm.
I said he's the only one who's got 100. He's got double hundred. He's got triple hundred. He's got quadruple hundred, and he's got 500. So not many batsmen can claim that. So right at the peak.
Yeah, and not many can even dream of it.
No,
Yeah.
he's certainly, I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, listen, the best part about someone like Brian is obviously he's one of the greatest ever, but he's also the way he played his cricket. It's not just getting those runs. Also, he was a match winner, an entertainer. I can't forget his retirement speech when I think he said, "I hope I've entertained you enough." And I mean that's what he's all about, entertainment. And this is what it is, right? It's a sport.
yeah.
Yes, it is a sport, but it's also gives entertainment and happiness to so many people. And he's done that over what 2 decades and all.
Wasim, have you seen a more attractive batsman than Lara? I mean, the Prince of Trinidad, royalty.
No, I don't think so. I mean, he was. I think Sachin and probably Brian Lara were the best batsmen in the time that we played. Both, Deep and myself. Wonderful player. One of the best, I would say. When he switched on, when he wants to make runs, there's nobody better than Brian Lara. So when he wants to make runs and he's want to do the hard yards, there's nobody better than him.
Okay, you guys
Yeah.
have to both pick. Would you pick his cover drive or his the pull shot? Which one would you pick?
I'd pick the pull actually. High back lift and then that Natraj kind of a pull with one leg up. Oh yes. And you know what? Wasim was there that series, and let me share this story. One of
Do
the
you have
things Yeah, so one of the things we were told was not to talk to him because Wasim mentioned about him getting into the mood. So the idea is he loves talking while he's batting. He loves talking, right? So the idea is not to speak with him. So every time he would try and speak with any one of us, we would not reply. I mean, as disrespectful as it may sound, but the idea was, not to engage him or get him motivated and all. Just and
oh
that series he did not score runs because of maybe that could be one of the reasons because nobody spoke to him. He would just come bat for a while, get bored, and get out or something. But that's the kind of player like Wasim mentioned. If he wanted to score runs, chances are 9 out of 10 times he would score runs.
no, seriously. What
Yes.
would you pick, Vasim?
Well, I'll pick the whole Brian Lara package, Karishma.
Yeah.
I'll pick everything. I mean, like I said, when he's in the
No,
mood,
cover drive or
uh,
pull? Now pick. You have to choose.
like I said, the cover drive of staying, on the back foot and cover driving, magnificent, magnificent sight while you're on the field and you're watching it. Not a better sight than that.
Two series can never forget. West Indies, him against basically it was him actually those days. Him against Muralidharan and Sri Lanka, and him against Australia. Unbelievable two series. He got what I think in three test matches, he got 500 runs or something. Wasim, he got two double hundreds or
Yeah,
something against
close to
Muralidharan.
600. I think he got more than 60 runs, 60% runs of the total
Oh,
West Indies scores.
those two
And
series can never forget. Never
Oh,
forget.
that child. Clearly, he's immortal. Clearly. Uh, oh, well, happy birthday to him. And you both have, given us a little inside information. Let's take a look at the numbers tracker. Vaseem, Kolkata is still alive and kicking clearly and higher up now on the points table, so certainly happier.
yes, yes, and that is what we want. Teams
Yeah,
like Kolkata, Punjab, and Chennai. We've got only Mumbai who's literally out of the tournament. So almost everyone can still qualify. So that is what we want. From the outset, that we've got to the last day of the tournament. Before the qualification, that everybody is in the race because you want that entertainment. You want every team to fight, and it shouldn't be as easy as before a couple of weeks you're already qualified. I mean, Gujarat Titans are more likely to be in that race, who's so far ahead. But one team is always going to be very ahead. But the other three teams need to be go right till the end. That is what we want.
okay, let's talk about tomorrow's game. I believe Gujarat is involved. Need I say more? Who are they playing against? I don't even know. Did I pay attention? I don't know. Punjab. I know it's Punjab, but the point is, let's talk about tomorrow's game. And Deep, I'll start with you. If you
Right,
can.
interesting game. Obviously, I mean, we know what Gujarat's done over this season, and obviously Punjab stop and start season for them. What 4 out of 9 games that they won. Again, it's going to be very very interesting if Punjab do manage to beat Gujarat. Uh, and they can at this point in time. I'll tell you what. I believe all the teams are very very uh, kind of equal and balanced, and any team can beat anyone on their day. And this is also a format like that. So, but the thing is, like Wasim mentioned, you want the tournament to be interesting if you from a very unbiased point of view.
Yeah,
If and Punjab right now are below Kolkata. I mean, if they manage to win tomorrow, which they're very capable of, well,
absolutely.
again, that makes the tournament that much more interesting, especially that mid table there.
Yeah, absolutely. Vaseem, do you think because Gujarat have already more or less qualified, they're just going to be quite complacent, or do you think that's not how it is?
Well, they won't like to be. They won't like to. I mean, the talk will always be there in the team meetings or or whenever they get together that they don't need to be complacent. But that feeling just comes in no matter what you say. Once you qualify and you've got three to 4 games to play, you generally relax. And you might see Hardik Pandya resting in 1 or 2 games because he wants to be bowling ready. So they might try a few other guys before the playoffs. So that can happen. But from Punjab's point of view, they need to look the diet of Rahul Tewatia because he's hurt them very badly. So they got to be very careful what he eats in the morning. If they can make something in his breakfast, because he's taken two victories right from their
Yeah.
jaws of so they need to be look out for that, and they have to play very fearless cricket. They have played that kind of cricket, but it hasn't clicked. But they've
Yeah.
got to find the right balance, Karishma, because they are a very strong side. They haven't performed to their potential, but
But
they
they should.
are probably one of the finest team going around. But they haven't clicked as a team so far. They've played
Not
in
yet.
patches,
Yeah.
but they haven't clicked. Like I mean, the teams that have played well, Rajasthan or Gujarat or even Lucknow, I can claim that Punjab is far better team than that, but they haven't clicked as a team for me.
Yeah. No, fair enough. But जैसे कि हमने आज देखा, anything can happen. So may the best team win. And on that note, we will be back tomorrow on Sky247.net presents Not Just Cricket at 6:30 IST time. Wasim, I want to say Eid Mubarak to you and all our wonderful guests. Thank
Right.
you so much
Hmm.
for joining us. And I wish you
Thank you so much.
Mubarak, and thank you so
Eid
much, Deep.
Mubarak, Wasim.
Congratulations to both
Thank you,
of us. Win-win today. So see you both soon. Take care.
thank you.
Bye. Take care. Bye.